Are you ready to become an escapreneur? Well, you are in the right place. Welcome to the Bye Bye 9 to 5 podcast, designed by brilliant women, especially for brilliant women who want to create the life of their dreams by escaping the 9 to 5.
Good morning and welcome to Bye Bye 9 to 5. Great to have you here today. Bye Bye 9 to 5 specializes in women who are looking to change their lives by escaping the 9 to 5 and living the life of their dreams. And I have a guest here today who has done just that. And I'm so excited. We know that this month for me is all about mindset. And my guest today, Miss Khadya Hale. She is not a mindset coach. And I know you are saying, what? This is Mindset Month. But she has some amazing, just real mindset information that she's going to share with us today. And I just love that you're going to fall in love with her. You're going to fall in love with her. So let me introduce her really quick so we can get to it. Miss Khadya Hale is the founder and CEO of, get this, the Boss Empires brand. And she is responsible for Khadya's VA Solutions, the Like a Boss Academy, and the Boss Moves movement. And we will find out. I am so anxious to find out what all of that really is. I read it, but I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Not that you're a horse, Khadya.
I understand.
Okay, each of these businesses have one thing in common: a commitment to helping women along their entrepreneurial journey and inspire them to believe that there is no limit to what is possible. And I am sure you will hear that from her for sure. In 2015, Khadya launched her first business, Khadya's VA Solutions, all from a homeless shelter surrounded by her 5 children, all toddlers at the time. Since then, it has been her mission to help, inspire, and motivate others who have faced hardships. Okay, hold on to your seat because I'm holding on to mine. And I have talked to her before, but I am so anxious to hear this story again. It is such an amazing story. Welcome, Khadya.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much.
Wow, it's just amazing. When I see women like you, when I see women like you, when I talk to women like you, when I'm in the presence of women like you, I am so humbled and amazed because of the things that you've done. I really, really am. People think it's let me say this before I let you take it away. People think that it's easy. It's not that difficult to start a business. And it really, honestly, it really isn't. But what's the difficulty is to make the business successful and to overcome all the obstacles that stand in the way of doing that.
So true.
And my girl, you have done that. I just love. You are such an inspiration to me. So
make me blush.
Go ahead, Ms. Khadya. Tell us your story. We want to hear more of this. Tell us what brought you to this point.
So, as Kimberly mentioned, she and I had we had actually had a conversation before. Just about my journey and how I got to where I am today. And even since we talked, I've launched some new things.
Wow.
But, for me, it all started when I faced a hardship. I ended up homeless in 2015. And for me, it was really my lowest point was, I remember I said 5 children, but it was actually 4 because I was 9 months pregnant with my youngest, who is now 2. So, it was really at a point where there was nowhere else to go but up. For me, there was literally nowhere else to go. So I really thought about what I wanted to do. And yes, I could have had my child and went back and worked at 9 to 5, but you have to keep in mind, it would have been 5 toddlers at the time. Daycare is no joke. So I didn't want to work so hard for somebody else just to give all my money to, we'll say, childcare. I wanted to do something to create something I could leave behind for my children in the future.
Yes.
So that was essentially why I was like, well, you're really good at administrative work. You've always done it from your time in the Marine Corps to working in local government. You're really good at processes, procedures, so why not see what you can do from work from home doing that? And even though I was in a homeless shelter, it was still essentially my home for, let's see, almost 10 months. Almost 10 months. Yeah, almost 10 months. So I really just, I did research. I found out that being a virtual assistant was, I would say, the easiest because there was work behind it. But for me, it was the easiest thing that I could do. It was affordable. There was low startup costs. And I just made that decision that, yes, I'm going to launch a virtual assistant business. And from that point, I just mapped out the steps that I needed to accomplish. I set goals for myself, like weekly goals, daily goals, monthly goals, and then an overall goal for when I wanted to have this accomplished. And my overall goal was before my oldest birthday, which his birthday was October 20th. I said before October the 20th of 2016, I said that I wanted to be out and in a place with my kids. That was my goal. October 1st, 2016, we moved into our apartment. I was 19 days ahead of my goal. So,
Wow.
For me, it was really just a matter of mindset, mentally saying what I want to accomplish, listing those steps and those actions I need to take to get to that goal, and just moving forward with it, staying committed to it, not giving up. Believe me, I faced many hardships towards, securing that first client and things of that nature. But I looked at my kids and I had no choice but to make it happen. There was really no alternative for me. I had to make it happen.
Oh my gosh. So, Khadya, you gave us so many nuggets in there. First of all, one of the beautiful things that you said is you looked around in your situation that you were in and you made a decision. You said, this is what I need to do. And then the second thing that you did was you made a plan. You set some goals, you made a plan, and you executed on the plan. And so those are all important steps in business. But what I think the driving thing behind it all was just the fact that you had to change your mindset. You had to get your mind wrapped around the fact that, okay, here I am. I'm in this situation. What do I do? There's only two things I can do, right? You can either crumble or rise up. And how did you rise up?
That's true. And here's one thing I want to say, as I mentioned, I was in a homeless shelter. And a common thing I noticed amongst, I hate to generalize it, but amongst everyone in a homeless shelter is they didn't seem to care. There was kids galore, from newborns and up. There were some people that had 10 kids in a homeless shelter. They were content for that to be it. And for me, that environment, that's just not something I would ever want for my kids. So that was, the people in the homeless shelter, they kind of motivated me too. It was like that push. I would look at them and realize that I didn't want my life to become I didn't want to be that way forever. I didn't want to be content to be in that situation. So I kind of look at that as a motivating factor along with my kids. They kind of pushed me to Khadya, get going on this. Don't procrastinate. Do this, do that, make it happen. So
very nice.
The environment of the homeless shelter definitely motivated me to keep going, to keep pushing at it.
Yes. And so, I know it was a struggle. I know even though you made that decision, even though you put a plan in place, even though you set your goals out there, I know that you still faced obstacles all the time.
Mm-hmm. How
did you handle those obstacles?
It was really so my plans have backup plans, and my backup plans usually have backup plans. I'm kind of anal that way. People call me weird for it, but
that's all right.
It was really I really did stick to my plan. There was times where I would emotionally, it was too much. Emotionally, the environment, I wouldn't even say rooms. We had one bunk bed, with all my kids, all their belongings I could carry from my house, And sometimes, looking at them at night, it would make me want to cry. It would make me just want to give up, and I would think, I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, one little smile from them or a hug or an I love you, it really just, it pushed me when I didn't think I could do more. So, little unknown story that actually nobody knows is that I was actually planning to give up my fifth one for adoption because I knew I was going to end up homeless. Like, it was already in the process. You know, I was like, I can't do it. I was like, there's no way I can't have a fifth child. Turns out I can do a lot more than what I thought I could. You know, because obviously I had my fifth child. He's here. He's not. I didn't give him up for adoption. So it was really just my kids. They truly brought me through every hurdle I had. Every hurdle. There was financial hurdles. I was like, how am I going to get the money for this? How am I going to do this? And financial hurdles, and by the grace of God, because somehow he linked me up with my first client who flew me out to New York to an event. Yes, she flew me out to New York. I remember it was like May 6, 2016. She flew me out to New York. I met with some big name people. I went to New York, you guys, with $10 in my pocket. No joke. $10 in my pocket. Okay. Now, my client, she had paid for my plane ticket. We stayed in the same hotel room together. And then we got to these, it's called Slater Success Coaching. It was an event. And we got to the event, and remember, I came there with $10 in my pocket. The coach of the event, the host of the event, gave the first 25 people $97 checks. I was one of the first 25 people that showed up. So, like, it was like, when I tell you, it was like miracle after miracle. It was no joke. That's what it was. So, you know, I get to this event, I get this check, you know, I'm getting excited. And then the host invited me to this dinner. And I knew I didn't have the money to go. But I was like, well, I'll just go get something to drink. Maybe some chips or something. But so we get out I go with the host to the dinner, and it's this fancy place. I couldn't even afford the chips. They were like $20 some. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. And next thing I knew, the host, there was like 13 other people at the table. She paid for everyone. It was literally like over a $6,000 check. So, you know, it was like really, that experience for me kind of solidified when I was at my lowest point, it kind of made me, you know, like, I would say, well, miracles do happen. Like, God is really about, you know, making things work for me. Because who would have thought? Like, there was no way ever that I would have seen myself where I was with that first client flying me out to New York, meeting this amazing woman, and, you know, her paying for somebody I shouldn't even know to sit down and eat. I mean, there was like maybe 150 people total at the overall conference. So for her to choose me, you know, that was, to me, it was like, yes, let me make those connections. Let me see who I can get to know. And a couple of my current clients now are people that I met at that event some 2 years ago. So it was really I would say that was a defining moment that gave me real confidence in what I was doing.
That is amazing. That is truly, truly amazing. And miracles do happen. I'm a big believer in that. But we set the miracles in motion, I believe, by our ability to be faithful and consistent and determined in our actions. I believe we set those miracles in motion.
I believe that too, because, you know, I remember I had actually decided I wasn't going to go to the event at one point because I couldn't afford for the babysitter to watch the kids for those, because I was going for 2 nights. I couldn't afford for the babysitter to watch the kids. And so she had asked me about it. She's like, oh, aren't you supposed to be flying? So I said, honestly, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. When I get back, I probably could, but I can't afford it right now. And she was very understanding. Like, she has been amazing. Like, she's been my kids' babysitter since they were born. So, you know, she has been through my struggles and guided me along and just been there to watch the kids while I could go out and look at other situations. So when this opportunity came up and I let her know I wouldn't be able to go because I couldn't afford to pay her, she was like, we'll figure something out. Just go ahead and go and, you know, make those connections.
Wow.
So it was really, I've been blessed by the people I have surrounded myself. I haven't surrounded myself with too many people, but I've been blessed by the people who were in my circle at my baby sick. I don't really have family too much, but like my babysitter and then that client. It's just been like ordinary people who have really done extraordinary things for me and given me extraordinary opportunities.
That is amazing. And you, Khadya, it sounds like you definitely deserve that. You know, I know, you know, I say this to my kids all the time, and my kids are grown. I say this to them all the time that, you know, I said, God gave me you guys so I could be a better person. Because I believe if I didn't,
hands down.
If I didn't have them, I wouldn't be such a nice person. I believe.
It's funny you mentioned that. You know, I had my first job, I was in the Marine Corps. And I gotta be honest, people didn't think I was really gonna be a good mom because I was very hard charged, like barking orders, like no humor, I was very
Yes.
I don't even know what to call it, very drill instructor type, drill instructor mentality. They're like, how is she gonna have a child? You know, and then, you know, he was born with numerous complications, and it really changed my world. You know, people began to see me as compassionate, which I hadn't been seen as before. So it really, kids, I tell you what, if you don't have a child,
yeah, they do.
I never believed it before. I'm like, they say kids change you, whatever. You know, you don't really.
Oh yeah.
True, but until you have one, it is so true. Without my kids, I would not be half the person I am today. I would not know what I'm capable of without them.
Absolutely. I said, you know, I probably would have been bumming around on my friends' couches for years, you know, if I didn't have my kids. But my kids made me want to have responsibility and do the great things in my life. So it is only natural that they pushed you and turned you into this great entrepreneur that you are today. And for a lot of different reasons. I mean, just being an entrepreneur, you're able to have the flexibility that you wouldn't otherwise have had with your kids. So you work a 9 to 5, you can't have that flexibility. And you talked about leaving a legacy for your kids.
Yes, definitely.
You won't be able to do that with a job because the money is always capped by your time, the amount of time you can put in on the job and the amount of time they're willing to pay you. You're building your own entrepreneurial empire. And because you're doing that, you're able to make unlimited amounts of money to leave a legacy for your children. So I commend you for that. That's amazing, amazing, amazing. So you launched your Khadya's VA Solutions. That was your first initiative.
Yes,
but since then, you've moved on and you've done some other amazing things. Tell us, like a Boss Academy. I love that name, Like a Boss.
Oh yes, I love the Like a Boss Academy. I like the word boss. So
yes.
You know, for the Like a Boss Academy, it really was a way to take all of my knowledge and find a way to share it with others, primarily new entrepreneurs or soon to be entrepreneurs, those who are at a phase where they're like, oh yeah, I think I want to start a business, I think I want to do this, I think I want to do that. It was a way to give them those resources at an affordable rate, so they don't have to go out and spend thousands of dollars on resources that I'm not gonna say that are gonna help you, but you have to spend so much money that you may not have as a new entrepreneur trying to seek your way. So it was my way to kind of compile all of that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, I compiled it. I created a membership site, and the Like a Boss Academy was born. It's still fairly new. I launched it in October of 2017, and since then it has been amazing. It's like the people that I have met through Like a Boss Academy, like my students who are enrolled, they're so awesome. And it's interesting because like a lot of them are going through similar struggles that I went through, you know, when I was homeless, or they maybe have moved it back in with their parents. They're just going through something that has made them decide that they need to do something different. They need to change what they're doing and do something different to make their lives better. So it's really great when I get to talk to them one-on-one.
Yeah. And one of the reasons I wanted to make sure that you were in this mindset segment is because even though
There you go.
that's okay.
Little ones, guys.
That's okay. We love hearing that because you are a mom boss at home with your little ones. And there's so many moms today who had to drop their little ones off to daycare and they're not able to spend all these precious moments with them.
Right.
But when you're working with your people in the Boss Academy, what makes you so qualified? You know, sometimes a lot of coaches will have never been through a lot of things to get to the point of helping someone through their business. But there is a special thing that happens when you're starting a business and you are struggling.
Right.
Not only mentally, but financially, you're struggling because you're automatically thinking, how can I start this business and I'm financially strapped and I don't know what I'm doing. So you are doing something amazing by helping them at the Like a Boss Academy with being able to take the funds they can budget, because budgeting is important.
Yes.
Very, right?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Being able to take the funds they can budget and use it in a resourceful way to get the most out of those funds to be able to take them through learning how to start a business.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that.
And now, sometimes they call me just to cry. When they had a really tough day, I had to sometimes I feel like I would say I'm a coach because I'm definitely not. But sometimes I feel like a therapist who they go and talk to. You know, I know all their stories, all their struggles, and it really makes me want to do more, is what I would say. It really motivates me to do more, to give more. So
yeah,
they're like my other babies.
Yes. That's what clients are like to you. They're like their family, you know, they're your babies. And it's like, yeah, they want to cry and tell you, share with you, and,
right.
and you want to be there for them. And so I think all of the things that you've been through kind of help you with that, you know. And so the other thing that you do is boss moves movement.
Yes. So that is now that is extremely new.
Wow.
So that's I've been working on it since May. It will not officially launch until July, but essentially the boss movement is really not that they're all my pride and joys, but this one to me has a different feel because it's not about making money at all. It's solely about connecting women with other women through connection, collaboration. We're committed to supporting other women.
Nice.
So the overall purpose of this movement is to connect all these women from different industries, those who are making major moves, whether it's in their life, in their business, in the community, just connecting them with other women who are doing the same thing. So It's kind of like a wheelhouse for us to share articles, share stories, share events that they may know that's happening, and just share their lives with each other and connect with each other, find opportunities between each other. Why not help us women as a whole? So if I can provide that gateway, so to speak, to connect them, then that's what this Boss Moves movement is about.
That is very nice. Very, very needed. There is a misconception in the business world that women are not good at working together. Women are not good at getting along, that they're catty. That is such not the case. Just from doing the Bye Bye 9 to 5 podcast, I've met some amazing women like you, Khadya, and they have, a lot of these women I refer to as my inner circle now, because we have forged such relationships and friendships, and I'm happy to help them promote whatever, do whatever, collaborate on whatever. simply because I feel as though when you are helping and promoting someone else, another woman, when you are lifting yourself up too.
I agree.
Yes, all rising tides lift all ships. And I believe that if we as women work together and we are pushing each other up, we all rise. And so it sounds like that is what your boss moves movement is meant to do.
We're just women making some boss moves. I mean,
Yes. I'm excited. I can't wait to be a part of that.
I love it.
Yes, yes. So, and Khadya has, I'll give you all her information. She'll have her own page on my coaching site, on my Kim Wiggins coaching page. She'll have her own page, and I will list out all of her links to her social media accounts, to her different initiatives that she's doing, so you'll be well informed. And she has given us 2 great free gifts for you: her business systems ebook and her 7-day free trial to Like a Boss Academy. Now, these are some great free gifts to give someone. And so ladies, do definitely check these out and take advantage of them, because Khadya is really rolling out the red carpet here. Now, Khadya, tell me, what has it been like for those moms who are listening and they have children and they feel like, oh, I don't know if I could do this with my children. I know when you and I talked the first time, I believe you talked about your children being home with you most of the time, right? So tell us how that works for you.
Oh, it's a nightmare. No, I'm just joking. I say it lovingly. It has its ups and downs. It's really, my kids are my life, so I just do what I can to make time for them. Although I'm like any other mom, sometimes I get mommy guilt. We all get mommy guilt, where you feel like you're working too much and you're not spending enough time with the kids.
Right.
So for me, it's all about trying to find that balance between work and my children, which is a lot harder when your business is at home. Okay, it's definitely a lot harder. It's an everyday struggle for me, that every day I say I'm going to do better. Every day I make a commitment to do better, to give them more time, to make sure that I'm actively involved with what they're doing and what they have going on. You know, but and my kids right now, they are 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. So they're at the stage where sometimes being around them too much is like a hurricane. Okay, it's like a hurricane. Like, when I get finished with this interview, I'm not sure what I'm going to see. I'm probably going to see like ice cream all over the floor from them being in the deep freezer, you know, because that's the new thing. They like to go in the deep freezer and eat the ice cream and the freeze pops, you know. So it really is, you know, it's a struggle, but it's also rewarding. I like being able to wake up and I had a call with a client this morning, and I let her know that I'll be taking the day off. I'm just going to go chill with the kids today. So nice. I like being able to do that. I like that I don't have to put in notice to take vacation days. You know, me and my kids, they like to go to the beach for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm not a beach person, but my kids love to go to the beach. So we'll drive from here to Myrtle Beach probably every other week this last couple months. We pretty much, the hotel is always calling me about these new deals. So, you know, it's really all about figuring out what's important to you and how to make it work. And I will let you know, it's not going to be easy running a business and managing your kids. There's always going to be some type of give and take type of relationship. You just have to find a solution, a schedule that works for you. And if your kids are anything like mine, the schedule will never be consistent. So you have to be open to change. You got to be open to, you can't be so hardwired. You're saying, oh, okay, I'm going to set this schedule. I'm going to do work this time, and I'm going to give this time to my kids. If you have toddlers, that's not what's going to happen.
Right.
So you have to be open to, you just want to make sure you're open to kind of go with the flow. You know, just go with the flow, relax. You will find a way to get it done. If it means that you have to wake up before they wake up in the morning, or you have to stay up late after they go to sleep. If it's something that you love to do, that you're really committed to doing, you're committed to succeeding it, you will find a way. It's plain and simple. You will find a way if it's something that you really want to achieve, that you really want to accomplish.
Absolutely. And yeah, I know. I have a 3-year-old grandson. Oh my gosh. I love him to death, but he is such a handful, just one 3-year-old child. So I can imagine. And, it's like some days because my daughter is a business owner as well. And so her and I are in the same space during the day. And so when she picks him up, I'm still in that space most of the time. And so at some point you just have to throw up your hands and say, well, he's here now, so there's no more work happening.
There's some days when they're just doing too much. And I have to say, you know what, Khadya? That's when you need to close your computer down, step away.
Yes.
Give them their time. They deserve it. I mean, at the end of the day, for me and hopefully for you all, they're the reason that you're doing what you're doing is so you can spend more time with them. So if you have to shut it down and go spend time with them, do it. They'll appreciate it. I mean, people say I don't know how I do it, but because right now there's just 3 toddlers at home, my 2, my 3, and my 4-year-old. And then it's hard, yes, but they also feed off each other, so they don't really come and bother me. They just, they just fight each other. They're the fighting each other stage. So I just go in and referee every now and then.
Yeah, you're breaking up fights. Yeah.
Exactly.
so
I'm not really a mommy these days. I'm really just a referee. Putting them in their own corners, but as much as it annoys me, it makes me smile because I love that they want to be around each other that way. And once again, it just reminds me of why I do it all. Like when they're at their worst moments where they're being completely crazy, I'm just like, oh, I love you guys.
And what's nice though is that you are able to do all of this from home. And so you're not missing all those moments when they say something just completely out of character. My grandson said the other day, I told him something and he said, never. And I was like, where did that come from? And I'm sure he got that from TV. Something. He was like, never. I was like, oh my gosh. But I was so happy to be there to see that moment, So those are the precious things that being an entrepreneur can't buy.
Exactly. Because, I remember with my oldest 2, and I don't want to take too long on this, but I remember my oldest 2, mainly my oldest one, because like I said, I had him while I was in the Marine Corps. And it was literally wake up, shove something in his mouth, take him to the babysitter, go pick him up from not the babysitter, it was in childcare at the time, daycare. Go drop him off at daycare, go to work. After work, go pick him up from daycare, maybe enough time for lunch, and then, for dinner, then it was bedtime. Like there was really I probably spent maybe an hour a day with him, like literally between getting dressed and getting him dressed and ready to go to daycare and then getting him ready for bed. Like there was no time. I'm sorry, I have to make sure my kids didn't open the window. Like there was no time. There was no time. I literally spent no time with him for the first 3 years of his life, really. And that's not my fifth child. I didn't want to do that with my youngest. I didn't want.
Good.
At that point, I was like, it's not too late. I can do this. I can give them the time that they deserve.
It's never too late. And Khadya, I've not said this, but thank you for being in the Marines and for your service for this country.
It's my pleasure.
People do not know the sacrifice that's made when people decide to join the military. I'm prior military as well, so I'm Navy.
Yes.
Yeah, we're so
sisters.
Yes. So people do not understand that sacrifice that everyone makes when they join the military. And I'm sure some of that military training is what has kept you so determined and definitely consistent in the fact that you're just going to decide, make a plan, and do, because we learned that from
definitely the Marine Corps, definitely.
Yes. And so thank you for your service. So we're about to wrap this up. And Khadya, I'm so excited that you came. I'm so excited to have you. I know that you and I will work together very soon.
Oh, yes. Thanks for you.
Very, very soon. And I have one last question for you. Give the women out there who are listening today, I want you to give them two things. One, a really strong perspective on mindset, especially when you are facing tough obstacles like you were. And number two, one actionable item from a business perspective that they can listen to this and get out there and set in motion and actually take action on today.
Okay, I'll do that. So from the mindset point of view, here's what I want to say. If you want to succeed, you have to find a motivating factor. And it doesn't have to be anything big, just something that's important to you, something that you value, something that you treasure. If you value money, then let that be something, your motivating factor. For me, is my children. I mean, if your motivating factor is you want to move to a bigger house, whatever your motivating factor is, that's strong enough to propel you, to push you through the ups and downs, because it's going to be a roller coaster ride. You got to accept that.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that factor is, just keep that in mind and remember that at the end of the day, that's what's going to get you through. That's your purpose. That's your reason for pushing through, your reason for succeeding. All right. So it really is, I'm trying to figure out how to word it. Excuse me. It really is just something that you may have to take in daily. Like for me, I can look at my kids and see it daily, but if it's something that you have to write down, like I have a list over here to remind me to engage with others. And I look at it on my desk every morning to remind myself to be engaging, to do whatever. So if that's what you have to do, to write it down so you can see it every day, then do that. Excuse me. Sorry guys, I thought a sneeze was coming.
Yeah.
Now, as far as taking action, Kimberly mentioned taking action, and the actionable step I would tell you to do, and I believe I've said it several times throughout this interview, write it down. Write it down, write it down, write it down. You may think it's in your head, so that's all it needs to be in, or you maybe typed it up on the computer and that's all it needs to be in. No, take your pen and a notepad. I have a notebook. Take your pen and your notebook and write what actions you want to take down. Make a plan. So here's what I would say today. Today, think about what you're trying to achieve. Go get your notebook, your pen, and write it down. Once you wrote down what you want to achieve, write down the necessary actions that you're going to need to take to accomplish that achievement. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Go get that pen and paper. I'm telling you, it will do wonders. When you're feeling down and out, go back and look at that. Remember what you wrote down. Remember those actions that you should be taking, and make that plan.
Amazing, amazing tips. Thank you so much. Khadya, I always say there's something magical that happens when you pick up a pen and put it to paper. It's something magical that happens. It's like it solidifies your dreams in stone. It's like, okay, it's there. I got to get it done. So thank you. Great, great tips. I love having you here. And Khadya will be back later in the year for another segment, right, Khadya?
Yes.
On the VA segment, when we're talking about outsourcing and getting help for your business. She will be back to speak specifically to that, to be able to tell you what kind of help how to look for that help, and how to know that, the person that you're selecting is what you need for your business. So she'll be back to help us with that.
Yay, I'm excited.
Thank you so much for being here, my dear. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and you and I will chat again soon.
We sure will. I appreciate you for having me. I'm so glad I've been able to talk to you and talk to these guys, and hopefully, something sticks.
Yes, absolutely. All right. See you guys later. We're signing out from the Bye Bye 9 to 5. Bye.
Bye, 9 to 5.
This episode of the Bye Bye 9 to 5 podcast has ended, but it doesn't stop there. Be sure to subscribe for more strategies and advice to help you move from employee to escapepreneur, to have the kind of success you have always dreamed of without sacrificing family or time. And don't forget to rate and review us so we can continue to bring you the best content possible to motivate and encourage you on this journey. See you on the next episode.